secure digital identities, as well as digital infrastructure, controlling data, obviously, because it's blockchain, and ensuring privacy, and providing greater opportunities. Now, how many of you have blockchain businesses? Can I have a show of hands, please? Yes? Okay. How many of you would like to be able to participate in some very large infrastructure projects? Show of hands. No matter how, whatever your skill sets you are, because one of the platforms we have with this is an open tender system, which I will come to in a little while. What else is going on with our thing? Okay, this is the list of licenses that we have directly from the government. It's an exclusive license. That's why I say there's no other crypto exchanges like this in the world. There's a lot of exchanges that have passed regulatory approval. This is something else. So what we have is a license for doing blockchain and cryptocurrency. We have a banking license as well for import and export, and all of this will make sense when I show you the next slides. We've also got the ability to do civil engineering in terms of building roads, houses, etc. As you're seeing, this is way more than just one company can handle, which is why I was asking how many of you have businesses, even if you're not in the blockchain space. If you've got construction or engineering or whatever the kind of skills, or friends who have, this is a brilliant project to make them aware of. By the way, we've got some very nice ladies walking around with QR code things. If you want some airdrops, please scan the QR code or come to our booth. We also have a breakout session today at 2 p.m. We've also got the ability to do renewable energy as well, and also all the raw materials that are going to be used in the projects will be on the blockchain, as well as being able to do hotels, casinos, and lotteries, and so on. So as you see, it's a very, very broad license, and it's directly from the Prime Minister's office, as well as the Ministry of Trade, and so on. So where we are right now, we've already got the licenses done, we've got the software done, we're at this point here. What's going to happen, we've already got the foundation set up, which is going to be the custodian for all of the tokens. And this is where I mentioned the consultancy side. For those of you who want to participate in some of the infrastructure projects, including projects related to the One Belt, One Road, that is going to be part of this. So as you see, this is a very, very big and long-term platform. And all of the tendering processes will go through the exchange. As I say, One Belt, One Road. Who's heard of the One Belt, One Road initiative? Show of hands, please. Yep, a few people. Okay, great. What it is a project by China to essentially provide an easy access for all their goods and services to the worldwide market. Right now, it is possible to move your goods from Beijing or anywhere in China to London by train in only 18 days. That is one of the initiatives under the One Belt, One Road. And there's at least 70 countries involved. So there's no, whether we like it or not, China is the newest economic superpower for the next foreseeable few decades. So being able to take advantage of how they are going to put in money into so many economies, including Malaysia. What happens with the ERL, that remains to be seen. That's another story. But still, it's the huge amount of investment is going on. What's also going on is that we're going to be literally creating a blockchain nation, because the entire infrastructure of the government will go on the blockchain. Let's see, there we go. So for the exchange itself, what we're looking at is basically getting a lot of businesses on board, as well. It's going to have also the ability for customers to, regular consumers to do crypto to crypto at first, and later on crypto to fiat. But like I said, we also have a banking system license. There's not many exchanges that do. We will be able to have ATMs in Timor-Leste where you can withdraw cash as well as buy crypto. As I said, the entire government. So if you're going in to do an import business, you have to talk to the Ministry of Trade, you have to talk to all the other different ministries. All of that will be on an integrated, unified infrastructure. So bureaucracy largely disappears. Ease of access as well. Okay, this is the slide I wanted to get to. What's driving the liquidity on the exchange, because a lot of times when I talk about this, people say, oh, how are you going to get liquidity? This is where the liquidity comes from. Because of the open tender system, Any tenders that the government has in terms of whether it's building a road, whether it's putting up telecoms towers, whether it's providing hospitals, whether it's caring for veterans, whether it's doing any other of those infrastructure projects, which all go into the open tender system, as well as all of the commodity platform provides the natural resources that are going to be used in that tender system. The underlying mechanism for transfer is the exchange, is the Invech exchange. So that's where our liquidity problem is really not an issue. On top of that, all the other government-related projects will go on here. So that's the background and the backbone of the project. What the Invech Foundation will do is look after all of these different categories, including the war veterans. Anybody over the age of 25 in Timor-Leste has in some form been involved in a war. I've been in Malaysia, close to 25 years, and unfortunately for our side of things, we've tended to forgotten the veterans who were fighting in the wars in the 60s. So a lot of countries have these sorts of issues. Now, what's going on with this, we think of a lot of the funds coming in from foreign aid. Right? That seems to be a very third world kind of thing. I'm originally from Mexico, from Latin America. I know I don't look like it, that you're going to have to solve your racial stereotypes on your own, but I am Mexican, okay? So what most people don't realize, developed world countries are also having the same issue. How many of you know that 45% of people in the US are either directly employed by the federal government or indirectly employed by the federal government? The UK has exactly the same issue. So what's happening around the world is that there's a lot of people who are directly dependent on essentially tax-free grants or donations or whatever term is used in each country. And the same is true here. The problem with a lot of countries, especially in the third world, Africa, Latin America, and also in Asia, it doesn't necessarily get to the final recipients. And that's where the blockchain part is going to solve that. That's where the digital identity component comes in. So just to remind you, if you want to know more about us, our booth is outside in the next room, and we have a breakout session later on this afternoon. So that's basically the big picture of what the crypto exchange is about. As I mentioned, we're also going to be involved with the One Belt, One Road. So there's going to be a huge amount of projects coming into the exchange. This is a B2B exchange predominantly. It also will service, regular crypto exchanges as well. So that's why I see us as being massively different from any of the other exchanges out there. So if you want to come and talk about that, you disagree, you want to have a discussion about it, come and talk to us at the booth. Or come to the breakout session. So I mentioned those earlier. We've got the Invech consultancy side of things. So for those of you who want to participate, you've got some great ideas. You've got skills. One of the other aspects of what we want to do is we want to train up the population, not only in Timor-Leste, but all throughout Southeast Asia in blockchain technology. And we can't do that alone. So we need experts like yourselves to come in and take part on that project. This is one of the main targets of this. I'm going to segue a little bit here, as I've got like 5 minutes or so. I personally feel, and people like Jim Rogers agrees with this, the former head of the UN, Kofi Annan, has made similar statements. We're going into a period of change in the world where things like AI, automation is going to create massive disruption in jobs. From my point of view, we're going into a level of change similar to what we had at the beginning of the industrial age, when we went from farming to factories. This is where we are today. So the middle class is largely getting transitioned out to a large extent. The regular jobs like doctors, engineers, etc., those are all going to disappear. To a lot, not completely, but enough. So how many of you, when you were kids, did your parents say, oh, become a lawyer, become a doctor? Show of hands. Not a good idea. Not anymore. So because blockchain and AI and all of these other technologies, along with the internet, is changing the world as we are living in already. So that's where this is a great opportunity to provide your expertise to not only Timor-Leste, and if we can use that as a center of excellence to spread technology of blockchain throughout Southeast Asia. That's absolutely the goal. Now, longer term, where we're going to go is we can replicate this model with any other developing nation. But right now we have got a fantastic start in Timor-Leste, And that's where we're going to take this and make sure that this works exactly as we've planned. So, as I say, you want to come and visit us at our booth, or come to the breakout session at 2 p.m. And like everybody else here, there's lots of airdrops, so you find the nice ladies with the QR codes, and please do scan the QR code. Okay, I promised I would finish a little early because we've run quite late overall. Thank you very much for your attention, and hope to see you soon.
Thank you. Another big round of applause to Mr. Anthony Davie. Please be seated.